Alrighty guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day today. As always, if you're new or returning and you haven't yet already, please be sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them down below. I'll try my best to see you there. So this video is probably going to be a little bit rambly, but I'm going to try to keep it on some topics that have been an ongoing thing within the community that I would say that I have been a part of, as well as some areas that I haven't been a part of. And that's like drama and back and forths between creators. I've done a pretty good job of just staying out of it, and I really disengaged with a lot of content and a lot of creators over the past 5 months or so, because it was just getting too involved. Everybody was kind of going at each other and hyper analyzing everyone and causing feelings to get hurt and responses to be made, and at times shade to be thrown. And by all means, am I saying that anybody who has engaged in that is wrong or that their experience is invalid? Absolutely not. I have always said that everybody's experience is valid because it's their experience, it's their emotions. They can speak about how they feel. What I see happening, because I've tried to re-enter a lot of the community that I've been away from, because I miss subscribers, I miss engaging with some people on other channels, I miss engaging with some content creators. And I think because I stopped hanging around certain creators' channels and I stopped engaging in their content, it was just assumed that I didn't like them. Because there has been so much drama, there has been so many feelings hurt. And I will say, like, no creator that I have ever watched, openly talked about, or anything like that, have I ever actually had any ill will towards. Everybody engages in content and has opinions and has said things that I don't necessarily agree with. Some creators have engaged in problematic behavior, but I see some growth happening. However, it seems this past week, things are being resurfaced because people's feelings are hurt and they feel that they need to defend themselves. They feel they need to explain to their subscribers where they're at. And when doing so, it often ends up being that they may have a bad experience with another creator, and then they talk about it, and that other creator maybe was aware or wasn't aware, and then their feelings get hurt and they feel that they have to speak out against it. At the end of the day, I don't know why subscribers and other creators are really trying to invalidate everyone else's experience. It is okay to criticize somebody that you like. It is okay to see a creator that you typically enjoy engage in problematic behavior and you leave for a little while. That is okay. What I see happening on smaller channels, and I mean channels that are 20K and under, is I see a lot of creators feeling that they constantly have to explain their boundaries, explain their feelings. And to some extent, I understand having to do it. But at another point, I don't know why other subscribers, other creators try to invalidate how somebody feels towards someone else. And this isn't just about the community of what's going on with Real Entertainment News, Charlotte, Aaron, Dottie, Red. The list can go on and on. I'm not even really talking about just that scenario. Yes, it's applicable, but I'm also talking about other smaller channels that I see in the commentary community who have engaged in this back and forth. and everybody constantly feels that they have to respond to someone else's video. My advice, and I'm not saying that I'm the end all be all know all by any means, but I do want to give some unsolicited advice, and that is to stop worrying about it. Because you preach in 1 second that you know people are going to make content about you, you know people aren't going to like you, and you're okay with people not liking you, but then either a subscriber sends you something or you go looking for it, and then you end up with your feelings hurt and you feel that you have to respond. I highly encourage everyone to stop engaging in that. If you're a subscriber who is sending one of your favorite creators a clip on another channel, or a tweet that you saw somebody shading another creator, please just don't engage in that, because that is part of the problem. I don't think any subscriber who does that is intentionally trying to stir up drama. I really do think it's coming from a good place of just wanting the creator to be aware, like, hey, just so you know, if you get asked about this, this is what happened. So I do think it's coming from a good place. It's just getting misconstrued because it's hurting people's feelings. It's hurting that creator's feelings. Then they start going to look for these things. They start looking in other people's comment sections, and their feelings get hurt. And then they feel that they need to defend themselves and explain themselves. Which, again, I understand, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but I am kind of coming into a lot of drama lately, like as a viewer, and to me, it appears that there's a lot of hurt emotions. I think people feel that there's constantly being shade thrown, and it's implied on who's being talked about. And I'm not going to say I'm innocent. Like, I have speculated about content made about me or seeming to be about me. I have talked with other creators when they're on live saying that I can understand where they're coming to that conclusion because it could be implied. But the amount of hypocrisy that is happening because people's emotions are involved is mind-boggling to me at this point, especially with this Real Entertainment News situation. And I'm not going to deep dive into it. My personal opinion on Real Entertainment News is he has said some awfully disgusting things. He is extremely problematic. I have never watched any of his content. I have heard about his content. I have seen how he engages with other people and on other people's channels. And it's disgusting. Do I think there's an excuse for it? No, there's not. Whether he's playing a character or he's engaging in shock comedy, there's some lines that shouldn't be crossed that he consistently crosses, and it's a pattern of behavior. But you have to, what I am seeing is people's emotions are so charged that they're not able to take a step back and see the entire picture. They're putting too much of their own emotions into it, which as people is going to happen. But you can't, to me, in my opinion, you can't say that you want peace in the community and then get emotionally charged and talk about things without talking about things, if that makes sense. Because what I have seen over the last couple of days is I have seen a lot of, and really this is happening for months, I have seen a lot of creators talk about situations but not really talk about the situation head on. It's always left for people to assume or imply, and that is also part of the problem. To me, if you have a problem with another creator, or you dislike another creator, or you see problematic behavior within another creator, if you are not comfortable just saying this is the creator and name who it is, get it out there, and if you're afraid of backlash, then keep your opinion to yourself, or just deal with the backlash, say what you want to say so you can get it off of your chest and move on. This whole back and forth shading stuff is annoying, and I know that people assume, because I've had people send me stuff, which whatever, I really don't care. People have assumed some of my content over the last couple of months was shade towards like Charlotte, and it wasn't. Charlotte has engaged before in content and saying things that I did not personally agree with. But that doesn't mean that I don't like Charlotte. That doesn't mean that I don't support Charlotte. There were some things that happened that I felt uncomfortable being on her channel for a while. Same thing with a lot of channels. That's a lot of why I moved out of the community, distanced myself, because it was getting really negative. And it's not Charlotte's fault. It's not Little Red's fault. It's not Dottie's fault. It's not Aaron's fault. It's not my fault. It's not T-Spiracy's fault. It's nobody's fault. But we all have played into it a little bit, whether it has been unintentional or intentional. I don't think any creator who has been a part of this KJ community has ill intentions. Genuinely, I don't. I think too many people's feelings have gotten involved. And it's the same thing towards other dramas that I have seen involving other creators and smaller creators talking about each other in this constant back and forth. It gets to a point where to me, it's like, if you really want to say your grievance, say your grievance. If you get backlash or pushback or people leave your channel, I mean, that's part of having an opinion, but you can't get mad when someone else defends themselves. You can't get mad when someone else also calls out your problematic behavior, because at the end of the day, absolutely none of us are perfect. We all have made mistakes, myself included. I am always open to having conversations with creators. I am always open to having conversations with subscribers. I am always open to people disagreeing with me, whether that's in my comments, in a live, or in DMs. I'm going to be respectful. There does come a point where it's an agree to disagree and go our separate ways. But we can have a mutual respect for each other. It's getting really tiring to see all of these creators at each other's throats. And I try to think back to years ago, like 2 years ago, before I was a content creator, if this was a normal thing to happen on YouTube. And I think to a degree, drama amongst channels has always been a thing. It's always been a thing, but it is such a regular occurrence lately in every community that I am just honestly getting to a point where I don't want to consume YouTube anymore. I want to still make content, but I don't even want to consume other creators because it's constantly nitpicking, whether it's a subscriber nitpicking or a creator nitpicking another creator. It's one of those situations where everybody says they want a ceasefire, everybody says that they want peace, everybody just wants to go back to how it was 6, 7, 8 months ago. And the reality is, and this is a harsh reality, that's not going to happen. Some of the infighting that has happened amongst creators has gone very deep and very personal, and it has hurt, and like literally hurt creators. We cannot expect those creators to just push aside their hurt feelings, especially if it's a situation where there can't be a resolution to it, because so many mean things were said, because so many hurtful things were said. People should not be getting doxxed. People should not be wrung out because they choose to support one creator and not another, or because someone chooses to support a whole bunch of creators who have different viewpoints and there may have been some drama amongst the channels. When people look at this community, at some point we have to understand that the Katie community and the community that talked about self-taught beauty, with all the infighting amongst channels, it's going to look laughable to other creators outside of the genre. it is going to look laughable. Everybody is losing some kind of credibility, whether you want to admit that or not, but constantly going at each other, constantly, you know, having to feel that you have to explain and defend yourself. It's like a reality show, and people watch reality shows to laugh. And I mean that in the most like friendly way. I'm not trying to, you know, throw any shade or accuse anyone of being more involved than the other, because I don't think that that's true. And I think the problem is, because so many people's feelings are involved, creators and subscribers alike, it's hard for them to be able to see where maybe they have misstepped, because they feel so hurt. And a lot of times people are saying that if you agree with one creator and there's a fight between another creator, it becomes like a conversation about, you turned your back on me, you abandoned me, you took their side, you didn't stick up for me. That kind of language, whether you are intending it to or not, is furthering a division. It's almost making subscribers who watch unconsciously feel that they have to support one or the other. And I know for a lot of creators that really isn't their intention. They don't care. Like, as creators, you shouldn't care who your subs enjoy or who your subs watch. So I really don't think at times that they care, but they feel that it's a division, because they're constantly being sent things that someone else said. And it's just so sad. And it's at what point are the people who are engaging in this fighting, at what point are you guys going to take a step back and really view it without your emotions, really analyze what things that you could have done to cause the drama to continue? Because if somebody at some point, with all of this infighting happening, if somebody at some point just stops engaging, there will be nothing to say. And if somebody who's been critical of you continues to be critical of you, at some point you just have to understand that they're just going to continue to talk about you. And if you don't want your subscribers to feel that they have to pick, just let it go. And I know that is so much easier said than done. And I'm not saying that I haven't ended up in a situation very similar, because I have. When I was a new creator, something like that happened. And I did engage with it for a while. But at one point, I just decided, like, if they're going to continue to talk about me, if they're going to continue to paint me in a bad light, all I can do is correct the lies, not be defensive, take accountability for where I think that I messed up, open myself up for the criticism that people can tell me where they think I messed up during that situation, and learn from it. And I believe I have. I learned from that situation, and that's why I've really stayed neutral and have avoided talking about the dramas happening in the anti-KJ community, and the drama that happened with Self-Taught Beauty, and the drama that happened with Brit, because I really can genuinely take myself out of the situation, take my feelings out of the situation, and just talk about it from both sides. Because at this point, everybody who is fighting, everybody who is throwing shade to each other has played a part. And I will be the one to say that although I love subscribers, I appreciate everybody, I enjoy the support, but at some point, some of it, I think, does get egged on unintentionally by subscribers. Does that make sense? And I'm not trying to put blame on subscribers or blame on creators. None of this is about blaming anyone. This is how I have viewed it, being away and coming back and, you know, just being an observer of everything going on, going back and watching old content and it just seems that everybody's feelings are deeply hurt, and it's always the creator feeling that they need to defend themselves, feeling that they need to explain themselves. If somebody is downright lying about you and lying about situations, I think it does deserve a response. And if you are the creator who is putting out false or misinformation, or you're trying to paint a narrative, you can't get mad for the creator getting on their platform and correcting the lies. What I see happening is those videos start to happen, and then it gets emotionally charged, and the creator who is intending to correct the lies and intending to defend themselves kind of bring their emotions into it and say, well, this person, whoever made the video, is no better because they've done X, Y, and Z, meaning that the original creator who put out information about the other one feels that they then need to respond. And I guess my question to anyone who watches this and gets to this point is, how does that stop? Do you think that at some point when it's going back and forth like that, somebody just needs to totally disengage and not respond? And if one wants to continue on, like, let them continue on and stop looking for stuff so you stop feeling like your feelings are hurt? Or do you continue to respond and continue this cycle where you say, I want a truce, I want it to end, I want peace in the community, but then it happens again? I mean, this is like a monthly cycle at this point. Personally, I think if the parties who are fighting or have issues with each other, if they can't like get in DMs and privately chat or do a phone call, I don't know, if they can't, because their feelings are so hurt, or because they're mad, or maybe because they don't like the person anymore, if they don't feel that they can do that, maybe reaching out to a mutual party. And I don't know if there really is any mutual party in any of the dramas that's been going on. I know for me, because I share a lot of subscribers with a lot of the creators who have ended up in a back and forth, and I know that subscribers feel torn, and in both like the Katie community and the other community, I've had people ask me over the months to talk about it, and I wasn't really engaging with it, and occasionally I would pop in when people would ask me to go look at something, but I don't want to be involved. And I understand making this video could potentially make me involved, but it's gotten to a point where I feel I just need to say something. I feel I just need to try and like make a video so hopefully everybody will see it and understand where, from an outside perspective, it looks like. Am I expecting everything to be kumbaya? No. I don't think that that's possible. I really don't. But I do hope that if anything comes out of this, everybody really does like take a step, reanalyze, and really come to terms with how you want to handle yourself moving forward. Because I personally believe, and this is no shade to anybody, but I personally believe that if the infighting continues to go back and forth, and that's a lot of your content, at some point your channel may peak. And I don't want that for anybody. I don't want anybody to have their channel peak and not continue to grow. But if you're wanting to grow on this platform, you have, in my opinion, you kind of have to show your subscribers and the communities that you're involved in and the niche that you're involved in that you can learn from mistakes, you can learn from drama, you can learn from infighting and grow. But if creators continue to go at each other, yeah, you're always gonna have viewers, but subscribers, I don't feel genuinely enjoy feeling that they have to decide who they can watch and who they can publicly talk in their chats if they're doing a live stream. And I know for myself, it's gotten to a point where I don't feel comfortable chatting in a lot of live streams anymore. It's been that way for several months. And that stinks. And that ends up resulting in me not really watching the live streams live. I end up rewatching them. I don't know. I really just wanted to get this off of my chest. This is please understand, this is no shade to anybody. It's across the board for me. All of my criticisms and things like that, and my unsolicited advice is literally to everyone. And if you have a problem with me, whether you're a subscriber or creator and you want to talk with me, please understand I'm open to that. I'm open to having a conversation. And if it's something where you don't like me at all and you don't want to try to like me, that's fine. I understand that. If you want to tell me why and give it a point of growth for me, I would appreciate that. I don't expect us all to like each other. I don't expect a lot of people to like me. But even if I don't like somebody, I still respect them. I still will hear people out. Because a lot of times it boils down to emotions and miscommunication, especially on the internet. Things can be taken as you're shading one person when really it was just a general conversation. So if anybody feels that you want to reach out to me, if you feel that there's any animosity, I really don't have any animosity towards absolutely anyone. I don't. It's the internet. I really don't take it that seriously. I like to talk about serious things, to build a community, to have a community to talk about things that they want to talk about, while sometimes offering commentary where we can have a discussion about what we're seeing. I don't like drama. I'm really not a drama person. I like to play devil's advocate and talk about drama from all sides that is happening. But I personally don't like to be a part of it. And I don't think many people do. Even those who have ended up in this cycle of defending themselves and feeling that they have to explain themselves and feeling that they're constantly having videos made about them. I mean, it's all really childish. And at some point when you're a creator, you kind of have to, in my opinion, take a step back and realize that if someone's going to make content about you, if someone's going to continue to talk poorly about you for your own mental health and the sake of your own channel, I personally feel it's best to, if a flat out lie where rumors can start is made, making a tweet, making a public community post, doing something like that so it's addressed and your emotions don't get charged. Because when you talk about it in a live stream or you talk about it in a video, at some point you're going to end up saying a comment or throwing shade to whoever started the rumor. Even though that's not your intention, where people, it ends up being, I want to get the last word in type thing. So please let me know what you guys are thinking about everything. I hope I didn't offend anybody by making this video. I understand that could happen. I tried my best to I'm not trying to shade anybody. This isn't about any particular one creator. That's why I named so many in this video. And I'm not afraid to talk about specific issues with every creator, but what does that do? What does it do for me to come on my platform and say what I think other creators have done wrong if it's really not that big of a deal? Because some of the creators that I saw some things that I didn't enjoy are not really that big of a deal. And I have seen growth from these creators since I stopped watching. I stopped openly supporting some people because of the problematic stuff that I was seeing. But I didn't feel it was necessary to come to my platform and air it out to all of my subscribers. And I will openly admit that I have talked about some of the issues I've had with multiple creators when I had my members only. But everything that I have ever said, whether it was ever in a members only or in a live stream or in a video, I would always have that conversation with the creators. And I will say that for some of those creators, I have reached out to, because it's getting to a point where I genuinely want peace. I don't think anybody's bad. I don't think anybody has the most awful intentions. I don't think people are intending to expose or tear others down. I really think and feel that it is people's emotions are getting involved, people's feelings are hurt, and the constant nitpicking and constantly being sent things being said about you is not healthy. And again, I don't think when someone, whether it's another creator or a subscriber, sending things to the creator that's being said is out of malice. I really don't think so. I think it's to defend them and to say, hey, like, this is going on. But at some point, I feel like it's a boundary that creators need to put in place. And if you know it's going to be something negative, or you know it's something that's going to hurt your feelings or make you mad or entice any kind of negative emotion, to not let your curiosity get to you so you don't feel that you have to respond. So I know this is a long video. I know I've kind of gone on a couple of different thought processes during this. I appreciate you guys. I am going to wrap it up. But I hope everybody hears me out. And I'm always available if you ever want to reach out to me. You can DM me or you can email me. My socials are always in my description box. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a good day, evening, or night, wherever you guys are. And until next time, bye guys.